Welcome to the biggest show in the world, Sports Bettors TV.
You are listening to the biggest show in the world, the weekend edition. What's going on, people? Sports Bettors TV. We are live right now. Sports Bettors TV and SportsBettorsTV.com. And I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready for this huge college basketball slate. And I got my boy, the evil genius, on the line. Dr. Dan, what's going on, Playboy?
Yo, what's up, kid? Happy it's Saturday again. Love these huge cards, man. You know, I nothing really out there on Friday night for my liking, but, you know, I'm looking at it today, and I texted you last night thinking I'm going crazy. So many games.
There are a lot of games on the ticket, man. I'm looking at them right now, and I'm just like, whoa.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And there is one big game, too. Hey, big shout-out to Yale for laying the smack it down yesterday on whoever they played there. It was Dartmouth. But for everybody that hit that minus the spread, congratulations. Unfortunately, your boy did not, because I took him with my boy LeBron, who was up 13 points in the third quarter and played me, kid. They let Indy come all the way back. They were shooting like circus threes and hitting them and stuff like that, and I ended up losing that. But you know what? Hey, that's in the rearview mirror, and I am going to get down deep and dirty into the college basketball today, because I see a lot of games and I see a lot of opportunity for myself to get back to cashing tickets. So yes, what's up, man?
Sir.
Yeah, man. So looking at that, I don't think we need to get into any scores, brother, because you know what, guys? If you want scores, last week, Dr. Dan and I went an hour and a half on this show breaking down all the games, okay? So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go and just Google, NCAA scores, NHL scores, NBA scores, blah, blah, blah. And you'll probably show ESPN, CBS Sports, Fox, the whole package. So you know what? Hey, do that, and let's get rolling on what we got going, my man. So looking at this here, and whoa, we got Derek Allgood hit another parlay. Wow.
Nice.
Wow, good for you, brother. I'm taking a look at that right now. Guys, what we've been doing, hashtag SBTVNation. What we've been doing is we've been taking pictures of everybody's plays. We've been posting them on our Twitter, on our Instagram, on our Facebook, the whole package with the hashtag SBTVNation, because you know what, man? We love seeing people win money. That's what it's all about. That's what this show was originated for, and we are growing like a fungus and spreading like a damn virus. That's right, dude. We are rocking and rolling and looking forward to coming to the MGM Grand March 20th through the 22nd, 2015. And Daddy's going to be all over the emails today, brother, because I got a lot of people I got to respond to. I may be actually calling some of you. That's right, man. The Mad Hatter may be actually reaching out and calling some of you. So
pick up your phone.
Stay tuned for that, because I got a whole day of work and that going on today. So what do you want to do, brother? You want to start with what? You want to start with the early top 25s and then just move our way through?
Might as well. I probably got them all. I mean, like I said, it was crazy last night. I was just looking at the opening line. I saw 17 games that I thought right off the bat I liked. Ended up knocking 4 off the card, doing homework all sorts of hours last night and this morning. Let's just start early, see where we go, and I got some games that I think are some real value that are outside of the top 25. So let's get it done.
Yeah. Big shout out to the Hockey Immortal. Said he's going to buy a Yale hat courtesy of the Mad Hatter. Definitely. I got one that says Yale beat Harvard on it. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I think they have Harvard today, Dan.
Harvard game today.
All right, whoa. So listen, before everybody gets all crazy on Yale, gets all excited, listen, you got to relax, because Harvard is no joke.
Harvard's a legit team.
Harvard is no joke. I mean, you all remember what they did last year in the tournament. Yeah, I think they got, they won like 2 games or something like that in the tourney, didn't they? One or two.
Like that.
I remember. I think they played Michigan State tough or something like that. I was like, whoa.
It was close. Yeah, they, much like most Ivy League teams that play well, extremely fundamentally sound. They do have like the most athleticism in the Ivy League, which is what it is.
Yep.
But they can hang around with some teams, and yeah, I would stay off that game. If you're, from Connecticut or Massachusetts, always a fun one to watch.
Yes.
But there's so much out there.
Yes. Big shout out to everybody that's retweeting our show. Guys, we love you to death. Listen, the SBTV Nation was rocking on Twitter last night and is continuing into today, man. I got Randy Lockhart, Sir Mata, Armin De Niro, Nonstop Sports Picks, Ben Diaz, Scotty King. What's up, buddy? All the way out there in Colombia. I got Scott Weaver, Clown Man Swag, Snoopy Bets, Straight Bet Talk, Rafael Esparza. What's up, dude? All the way out of Vegas. I got my man Underdogs, Yato, Soccer Nation, The Six Picks, It Be Ez, Nick R, Hockey Immortal, and the list goes on and on. Dan, let's do it. Let's get this. I got this. This is – Dream says the other one's the Vegas anthem. This is kind of getting to be my Vegas anthem, right? I just popped it in about 10 minutes ago, and it's a little Pitbull and Akon instrumental, and it's just off the hook. I know what we're going to do with you. We're going to be dragging you out of the club at 11 a.m. to come do the show. Dude,
I mean, 24 hours.
That's how I roll, kid. Let me tell you something. I'm the guy that's in the club where there's like little holes in the walls where the sun is popping through. That's what I look at.
I hear you. And by the way, just to throw out about Vegas real quick, everybody who knows, I'll be coming down a little early. Got some plans earlier in the evening. I'll be doing my thing, but I will be at a few bars on that Wednesday and Thursday night before we get kicked off on Friday. So, look out for my tweets. I'll throw it out there wherever I wind up being. Feel free. Come have a drink. Talk whatever you want.
Yes, OJFB is out there. Rob Pizzola is out there. Sir Mata is out there. What's up? Good morning to you guys. Let's rock and roll and get into the meat and potatoes. So the first game we got on a ticket is Baylor, West Virginia today. That is a 12 o'clock start. You got West Virginia anywhere from -3.5 to 4, under over 137 to 137.5. Looking at this matchup real quick, guys. Looking at a little preview here. West Virginia. Let's see. The last game they had, they were a 71 to 52 loser at Oklahoma. So Oklahoma laid it to smack it down on them. So they're coming off a loss. Baylor was a 77 to 57 winner in their most recent outing at home against TCU Ski, and they covered the 8 points. So I'm looking at this. Baylor 17-5. West Virginia is 18-4. West Virginia is 8-4 against the spread in the last 12 games, and 18-4 straight up in the last 22 games. Baylor's 4-1 straight up in the last 5, and Baylor is 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games when playing West Virginia. Dan, what you got for me here, player?
So I'm all over West Virginia here, and there's a reason, and I'll take those -3 points. West Virginia is a great home team. Yeah, you look at they got the crap kicked out of them, by Oklahoma, but they beat them at home just like a week and a half before that. And you look at Baylor. Baylor has lost their last lost their last 3 out of 4 on the road. The only team they beat was TCU, and that went to overtime. They've not played well on the road at all. West Virginia at home is a really good team. I'm all over West Virginia.
You are, huh? Guys, what I'm going to do is just real quick. A big thing in college basketball I've been looking at is the free throw percentage. I like to see who the top teams are, in the league, in the nation as far as free throw percentage. So I'm going to take a look at some of that stuff and, share that with the audience. But, looking
agree.
Because you know what? I hate when have you seen the free throw shooting lately in college basketball? It has been
deplorable.
Awful. Look at Texas the other day. Could have won the game and lost.
Oh, yeah. And you got, point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards that are, dropping down 19-foot jump shots, and they can't sink a free throw. You know what I think it is, kid? I think it goes back to these new NCAA rules on how many hours they can practice. You used to have kids in the gym that would be shooting free throws 3 hours a day after practice. It's not allowed anymore. So I think that's really taken a hit, on the free throw percentage all across the board.
Yeah, big shout out to Cole Smith out there. What's going on, Playboy? But I'm looking at the top 10 just real quick. Not to jump around, but I really wanted to do this and share this with you guys. Number 1 through 10. Ole Miss, Illinois, the Fighting Illini, Quinnipiac, Lafayette, Albany, BYU, Pepperdine, Eastern Kentucky, CS Northridge, the Matadors, and Weber State. Those are the top 10 in free throw percentage, okay? With Ole Miss being 73.8, which is dope. I'm sorry, almost 80% they're shooting. So that's why I've been taking the Illini the last few games.
Yeah.
And I've been hitting with them. So big ups to them. So we'll see where that one lands and go from there. But looking at this,
Quinnipiac too. I mean, has been a pretty money bet. We lost one. They lost their first ever game to Niagara, which you couldn't have foreseen. But they're also a great rebounding and free throw team. And when they play teams in their conference, as of late, they've been covering. So definitely take a look at them too.
I definitely will. So looking at this Baylor-West Virginia game, I think you might be on the right side of West Virginia. I like what they do at home.
Yeah. You look at the overall stats, kid. I mean, West Virginia, 24th in points per game, 42nd in rebounds, the 68th in assists. Their field goal percentage isn't great, but they're fast, so they get a lot. They get a lot. Defense, they're 114th, but they're giving up 64 points a game. They're scoring a lot more, and like I said, that home percentage is much better than that.
And they're scoring almost 80 points a game at home.
Right.
So, you know what? All right. We'll take a look at that and see what happens with that. So, all right. So, we're going to move on to the next one here. So, you and I are both kind of on the fence. Not on the fence, but leaning West Virginia in that matchup.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in. The line just moved, depending on what book you're in, some lines move to -4.
Yep.
I honestly think Virginia wins this game 8 points, and I think they'll be up, free throws at the end, so they'll have to sink those. But, I think they cover pretty easily at home against Baylor.
Okay. All right, so we'll take a look at that and see where that one lands. But the next one we got on a ticket here is we got Notre Dame at the Dukies, kid. And the line is
It's crazy.
It's thick. It's anywhere from 8.5 to 9.5 points. Under over 150 to 151.5, which is a pretty high total for college basketball. That's 75 points apiece. So they're really
that's a lot.
That is a lot of points. I know they both put up a lot of points, dude. But you get them 150 numbers. But chances are when they bait you with those high numbers, they bait you to take the under, and you get smoked. Just like those 115 numbers when you try to go over and it ends up being like a 96-point affair.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I hear that, man, and I don't see it that way at all. I think the under on that game is actually a pretty safe bet.
I don't know if I would go anywhere near that, Dan. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah,
both teams are scoring 80 points
apiece.
apiece.
I'll tell you, that's just a lean. I'm not putting money on that because I have so many games that I'm taking. But that's my lean. I think that Notre Dame has a really potent offense, but I just think in these big time games, defense comes through a little bit. We'll see. But I'm all over Notre Dame though.
All right, man.
Notre Dame in plus 9 points. Look, I know they're on the road. I know that Duke is a very, very good team. And I think Duke wins this game. But, I think it comes down to the end. 5 points either way. Probably 2 points going into foul shooting. Whoever gets the foul shots at the end wins the game. Very comfortable with the plus 9.
Okay. All right. Both teams are scoring a little bit over 80 points apiece, where their defenses are giving up 64 points apiece. So, you just do law of averages there. That's where they're getting their total numbers. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you look at the two of it. It's going to be close, but I expected more around the 140s. But,
I think Duke wins the game in the revenge spot. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can see them winning the game, like I said, but I don't see it becoming anywhere close to a blowout. I just think I'm really comfortable with the 9 points.
Okay.
Really, there's no way I would even think about going the other way. There's just no way. And then, you have Notre Dame, like you said, 7th in the country in points. Their field goal percentage, second. And I think that's a huge thing because they're not a great rebounding team, but they hit their shots.
Yeah.
So, if you hit your shots, you don't have to be a great rebounding team. And then, you got Duke, which obviously another great team. To game average. They're a really good rebounding team, but like I said, when you have a high field goal percentage team, which both teams are, I think that mitigates the rebounding difference. And both teams have a pretty decent offense. I mean, middle of the road, but it's going to be a great game to watch. I think Notre Dame keeps it close. Like I said, I got money on them, +9.
Total's going over in 4 of the last 6 games with Notre Dame being on the road, and the total's going over in 4 of the last 5 Dukies games. So you might want to take a look at that and see where that one lands. All right, so the next one we got on the ticket, my man, is, let me just pull it up real quick. We got Georgetown at Villanova. And let's see, Georgetown is 15-7, going into Villanova being 20-2. Nova's riding a 3-game winning streak. Nova's 13-6 against the spread in the last 19 games, and 20-2 straight up, obviously, in the last 22 games. Georgetown, let's just take a look at what they're doing on the road. They're 3-8 straight up in the last 11 games on the road. So that's something to definitely look at. They're obviously not performing on the road properly, and you got Villanova is anywhere basically a 9-point favorite in this matchup. Under over 131 to 132. And I got to be honest with you, Daddy's doing a money line parlay today, and I think, let me just double check this, my injuries and stuff. I get some Villanova early on a money line pair it up with 2 to 3 teams. Probably 3. I'll probably team it up with 2 more teams. I think it'll pay pretty well.
I love that play, kid. I love it. I'm all over the Bill. I think Villanova, man, I think they destroyed Georgetown. They took that loss at Georgetown. They got embarrassed. They lost by 20 points. It was a lackluster effort. I think they walked in there just expecting, hey, we're the better team. We'll take care of business. It's going to be different today. That's one of only 2 losses Villanova has. Those boys are coming to play. I think they return the favor and win by 20 at home.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I love these revenge spots here because I see another one already screaming at me, dude. But I'm gonna get to it.
And I'm not saying the competition has been great since that Georgetown game. Creighton, but 21-point win at DePaul. A great, like I said, not great, but 13 points. Versus Marquette, they blew out Marquette and are winning by 18. And they've been licking their lips waiting for this since they lost that game. Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So I think we're on the same page with that. Villanova is superior in points for, points against, points differential, defensive rebounding, free throw percentage, 3-pointers, and steals. But surprisingly, as superior as they are in all these categories, they're really not that much superior. So, you know what? Don't let that mislead you. Just, if you guys are out there, you want to give the points, do what you do, but I don't like the idea of the points in this one. I really don't. So I'm gonna stay away from it. So.
I love me some points.
Yes, you do, brother. Yes, you do.
And that what makes us individuals.
Yes. All right. The next one we got is a 2 p.m. start. We got VC Uski going into St. Bonaventure, kid. And the line here is, let me take a look. Hold on. 2.5 to 3. VCU is given 2.5 to 3 points only. And the under-over is 136 to 136.5. Very interesting there, man. What's your take on this game, Dan?
VCU.
You think they're going to win the game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think VCU is, they're kind of one of those middling teams.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just not quite sure how they're going to come out. But this is kind of a joke. I mean, the Bonnies haven't been playing terrible. But, I mean, come on, they're a 12-8 team. VCU comes in at 18-4. I know that VCU's a little banged up, but they're coming off a road win at George Mason. They won that pretty handily by 12. Look, this is a conference game. VCU is 8-1 right now in the A10. St. Bonnie's 5-4 in the A10. I think the line is off in this game. This was something that when I saw this last night, before I did any homework, I circled this game 10 times. I just think that this is off. Look, the Bonnies, they can rebound a little bit. They're 148th in the nation in points scored versus VCU, who's 46 overall, scoring 74 points a game versus 68. The Bonnies' defense isn't that great either. I mean, they give up 65 points a game. They can block and rebound, so that's what you have to worry about. But I think VCU wins this game pretty easily.
My man, Clown Man Swag, just informed me that, and Sir Mata as well, that we are already 2-0 in the Real Madrid game, where we took the over with my man, Cousin Pete from the Fake Fam. He gave it out on episode 200. He gave out the over 2.5. So we need one more goal, and we're only 20 minutes into the game, players. Yo, hopefully we can get this thing done by the time we get off the air and cash. That's my man right there.
For you, and let's get that done.
Dan, everybody that came on the show ripped it. Papa Smurf ripped it. Queen of Odds ripped it. Gamblu gave out a bunch of MMA, UFC stuff. What else? But, that hasn't happened yet.
Papa, I love you. I should have stayed away. My bad. Here's the thing. I didn't get a chance to even really listen to that show yet because, as I told some of you on Twitter, this week has just been hell at work. I got a real job, too. So, it's been impossible meeting after meeting. But, man, I've been looking at the tweeted out pics from that show. Straight fire, boys.
Straight fire, dude. Everybody came out. And sure enough, this is the only one I've tailed so far because you know what? I was thick-headed and I just was playing my own stuff and I ended up getting smoked that night. So I learned my lesson from that. And, we had an all-star crew on there and guess what? I said, I got a tail now. So, you know what? The game's not over yet. We need one more goal, guys. So let's see what ends up happening with that. So,
and that same night that I didn't tail Papa, if I just tailed him there with Purdue, that would have been a 7-unit night. We went 3-1 overall, but I had 4 units on that Ohio State game, so we only ended up like plus 1 unit.
Oh,
which hey, if you bet 1 unit per game, you were still happy with that night. But I did throw out that 4-unit play, so we still wound up plus 1 unit. But man, if I just not played that. So hey, I'm kicking my own ass a little bit.
It's all good, man. You know what? You gotta roll with the punches here, Dan. That's it.
I know.
You gotta grind them out.
Hey, if I could be plus 1 every night, I'd be a millionaire.
That's the name of the game. I mean, you gotta grind. You can't be greedy. You know what I'm saying? It's one unit at a time. Dude, listen, I'd give anything to be up 1 unit a day right now. I've been getting smoked a little bit, so I gotta kind of get my juices flowing here with this college hoop, and I love Villanova so far.
Everybody always asks me why I take so many games, and part of it is because most of them are 1-unit plays. Here and there, if I really feel something, obviously I'll add a little bit to that ticket, but I play law of averages. I'm trying to be plus 1, plus 2 every night.
Yeah.
And obviously you have those nights where it just doesn't work out, but you also have those nights where it works out perfectly and you hit everything. So, it's law of averages, slow and steady. I hear that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, moving on here with the college basketball, we got Kansas at Oklahoma State. Wow.
Yep.
This might be a very interesting matchup because this might be one of them historic letdown games that a lot of people have been talking about and trying to talk me off the ledge with. And you got Kansas minus 1.5, basically all across the board. Under over 133 to 134.
This screams stay away from, kid.
I agree with you, Dan. This one looks kind of nasty to me. I mean, Kansas is playing awesome basketball right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what I mean?
But, they've played some close games on the road. I mean, they had that TCU game where, they came out with a 3-point win. They lost that road game to Iowa State. And Iowa State isn't really what we thought they were either. They obviously beat Texas by 13, but Texas is just a weird team. This is going to be a close game. I mean, Oklahoma State is underrated, I feel like. 15-7. They've been playing good basketball themselves. Just stay away from this game.
Yeah, this one looks kind of a little too close for comfort for me personally. I mean, I don't like road teams, period, when we're when we're doing college hoop. But looking at this here let's look at. Hold on one second, Dan. Let me pull this up here. Look proper way here. Kansas scored about 72.6 points a game. Their record is 19-3. Oklahoma State is 15-7, scoring about 68 points a game. Their statistics are pretty even. I mean, it goes, they kind of flip-flop in superiority here, guys. So it almost seems like they're pretty close statistically. So you got to.
They are, and
that's why that line's only where it is. That's why it's only 1.5.
What scares me off this game is normally on a neutral site during Kansas with this line, or even a little more, I'm all over Kansas. Because Oklahoma State is just not a good road team, but they are a much better home team than they get credit for. They beat Baylor by 9. Texas Tech sucks, but they destroyed them like they should have. On the road they haven't been great, but they're at home today. This game's just got Pepto-Bismol, whiskey shots, whatever you do, all over it, and you're going to be miserable by the time the night comes on.
Big shout out to Jay Hova, C. Rodriguez Jr., and AZ Wildcat 83. What is up, guys?
Good morning, brother.
Kansas, Oklahoma State, not interested.
No.
Not interested. But, hey, you know what? If you got opinions on it, let me know, and maybe you're going to see something that I don't. But I can tell you that you would have to sell me something crazy for me to really think about that one. So, guys, taking a look at this. All right, let me back up here and go into the next one, which I love, by the way. Okay, and I've gotten beat up with this team several times, but you know what? Oh, the line is so heavy, though. Oh, I did not expect the line to be where it is.
What you looking at?
Damn. Texas Tech at Iowa State.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I wanted a 10 spot there, dude. I was hoping for a 10 spot, but it's 16 to 16.5. Damn.
No. And here's the thing. I mean, anybody who who followed my plays from the other night, you saw what happened. I put some money on the Zags when they were playing Santa Clara. The reason I did that, I actually have one of my boys I work with was an All-American water polo player out at Santa Clara. So I was like, I just want to screw them. Put a little money. I figure Gonzaga wins by 20. They end up winning by 14. Don't cover the 16. Iowa State, given this many points, I don't care, man. This is crazy.
Looking at it, Texas Tech road offense is 350th in the country and scoring 50 points a game versus Iowa State's home offense, 80.93. So I get the line now. Now I understand this line.
I do, but
wow.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just a little much. I mean, Texas Tech has still managed to have an over 500 record. I know. I can't go near 16 points. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I mean, you're talking about a team, that played Kansas State at home. That was a 6-point win. Kansas State and Texas Tech are kind of similar. A team that lost.
Tough.
I mean, Iowa State lost at Texas Tech, so I know you're talking revenge game again, but it also could be I mean, they lost by 5 at Texas Tech. This 16 points is too much, man.
I don't know if it's too much, Dan. I think they can get it done. I think they can cover this, but I just don't. Dude, I'm telling you, man, my record has been terrible taking spreads. It's been really bad. So I've been losing by a half.
Games out there,
dude. I lost by a half point 3 times in 8 days, bro. Three times in 8 days, kid. If that doesn't sting you, I don't know what does. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what, man. Hopefully, it strikes in threes, and now you're ready for those half-point wins. I got one of mine back finally with that worthless ECU dunk against UConn to cover the 13.5. But so hopefully it's coming your way now.
We'll see. You know what, guys? I may go like a half unit on that, or I may tease it. Maybe I'll do a teaser and get that down to maybe a 10 or 11. If you get it to
9, like a 7-point teaser with 2 other teams.
Okay, now you're talking my language, brother.
Because if you take a 7-point tease, right, you get it down to 9.
Yep.
And here's the thing, I don't even lean that way because of the past, but I know you love the revenge game.
I love the revenge games, dude. I love them.
Right. So maybe you do a revenge 7-point teaser, because there's at least 3 good revenge games, say, if not much more from what I've seen. And, you know, you get it at minus 120. I mean, 60 to win 50, that's, I mean, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a decent tease.
Yeah, a lot of people asking me about totals here. Hockey Immortal, which one are you talking about? He's asking what the over is, what is the over a play here? Being this game, which game are you talking about? And my man Johnny Jawson is asking about the under in the Iowa game. Do you mean Iowa State or nasty Iowa? Because we are talking right now on this one. And let me just take a look at the total.
Don't ever take the under on Iowa State.
Yeah, oh no, they could score at will. I mean, wait a minute. The under over is 142 to 143, dude. Texas Tech is scoring 50 points a game on the road, player.
50 points, but then you got Iowa that's what at home? 80, 81?
80 to 81. That puts
80 to 81, so you got 130. Do you have up the stat for Iowa State's defensive points allowed?
Yes, I do. Give me a second. Let me take a look here. You want to know on the road or overall? Overall, let's take a look at what Iowa State is giving up. About 69 points a game.
All right. That's towards the bottom of the pack.
Yeah.
So you got to think that Texas Tech scores 60. And by your logic, if you think that Iowa State in this revenge game blows their doors off, maybe they score 85.
Yeah.
Something like that, 85, 65, 85, you know, somewhere around that.
Tease it up to 150 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, or tease it down.
Nah, I don't know about that.
If you tease it down, so it's at, you said 143?
140, yeah, 142 to 143 right now.
Okay, so if you get it at 142 and you want to include that in a 7-pointer and you get it down to 135,
yeah, I'm
comfortable with the over there.
Yeah, but if Texas Tech shows up and lays an egg like they've been doing, then you got an issue. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But my man Johnny Joss is saying, yeah, he thought 142 was a little bit high. So taking a look at that. And you can actually do it if you shop the line. You can get 143 on take a look at sportsbetterstv.com. We'll show you where to find that, brother.
Yeah.
Taking a look at this. All right. So the next one we got on a ticket. Oh, man, I'm like I don't want to get bit by giving 16 points, dude. I just don't want to get bit anymore. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, you do the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of what? Insanity?
I believe so. But, hey, right, what we do is insane anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. Little Lenny Kravitz playing in the background since he got, like, no time during the halftime Super Bowl thing. Came out for a hot second. And then they kicked him off for Missy Elliott. I love it. We got North Carolina Tar Heels at the Boston College Eagles. North Carolina is, let me take a look at what this line is, guys. North Carolina, where are you? You are given 9 to 9.5 points on the road, coming off an embarrassing loss to Virginia in their building. You know, UNC has owned BC in the last 5 games, they've beaten BC, and they've beaten them by double digits. So in the last 3 games. So looking at this here, you know, BC's just not good. They're scoring about 64 points a game, letting up about 64 points, where UNC's coming in scoring about 79 on average. Their record is 17-6. BC is 9-12. Looking at this, North Carolina's 5-1 straight up in the last 5 games on the road, so they're playing pretty well on the road. I think I'm going to add North Carolina in my moneyline parlay with Villanova. What you think, Dan?
I mean, I love it. I don't think there's any way that North Carolina can lose this game.
I don't either. I don't either.
I don't see them losing it. I mean, they're a professional team. You know what I mean? Like, the road doesn't bother them, especially at a bad team. And I think, you know, after coming off that loss, you know, they're going to have some fire. So, you know, I think if money lining it is good. I'm not on the spread. I got too many games, and it just is a little high, but money lining is good.
My man Underdogs just hit me up with something. He said he's actually taking a big play here, taking St. Bonaventure. He's going against you on that one.
All right.
Against VCUski. So, hey, big ups to him. Hey, best of luck, both you guys, and see where it ends up landing. So we got the next one on a ticket here, brother, let's drum roll, please. North Carolina is going to win the game, I feel. I really do. I hate taking college road teams. I really do, but BC's just not good, and they've owned them. So, you know what? I got to do it. You got Oklahoma at TCUski. So taking a look at this line, Oklahoma's anywhere from 4.5 points. Pretty much 4.5s all across the board. That's what you're going to find. So the under over here in this game is 128.5 to 129.5. Dan, are you messing with this game at all?
So this was on my original docket right before I did homework, and I looked into this game pretty heavily. Yep. I did full homework on it, and I just crossed it right off my list. I expect Oklahoma to go into TCU and win, but I've seen Oklahoma do some weird things before. I mean, so I just don't want to deal with the stomach ache. Like I said, I got 13 games, and I don't need this to be one of them.
All right. To jump out of top 25s real quick, guys, I just had to do this. I had to look up Yale-Harvard. I had to do it. Yale, dude, I can't believe that Yale is actually favored in this matchup, bro. They're favored by 1.5 points, and Harvard is coming into Yale.
All over Harvard, all over that Harvard money line. I hate to do it. I mean, I hate me some Harvard, but like I told some cats earlier this week, it's not about the heart, it's about the wallet.
Yeah, I agree.
Over the Harvard money line.
I agree. I mean, I'm not gonna bet the game.
I know.
I'm not gonna bet the game just because I just can't do it, because if I bet against Yale and I lose, how mad am I gonna be? I'm gonna be so damn heated. So I'm taking a look at this right now. Harvard is 14-5 straight up, riding a 3-game winning streak, where Yale is 16-6, riding a 6-game winning streak. Yale is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games, 5-0 straight up in the last 5. Harvard is 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games. Harvard is 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games on the road. Guys, this is you want to talk about stomach ache of the day? You're looking at it right here.
And these boys are coming to play. This is, every time it's Yale Harvard, it could be friggin' intramural, ladies tennis or whatever. And it'll be a rivalry, bloodbath type affair where, it's going to be physical. These guys are going to come to play. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, watch the game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Don't put money on it.
Yeah, I may go to it. Let me ask you something. I know Yale Harvard in football is hundreds of thousands of people. Is it crazy with hoop? Do you know what?
I mean, I think so. I mean, any Yale rivalry always sells out, right? Like, I was looking the other night to get tickets to Quinnipiac-Yale hockey game, which obviously Quinnipiac being a top 20 team, and Yale being a good team, win the national championship, and obviously the rivalry. Dude, that's already sold out. That's like a month out. It's like a month out and that's sold out. I mean, you're talking about, I know it's D1, but, you're talking Quinnipiac-Yale, sold out. So it might be, you might have to go on StubHub for a Yale game.
Wow.
Pay like $80 to go see Yale Harvard.
We'll go buy some fake tickets outside and get smoked. But some cat, only $20.
Real quick, one game that, if we're off the top 25 for a second, because you know me, there's lots of value out in this out of the top 25. Guys, I'm all over Providence at +7. Okay. I think that Providence has been underrated all year.
Yeah.
They're 17-6. Obviously losing to St. John's, but I think St. John's is just a schizophrenic team. They just come off a win at Georgetown. If you look at the stats, Providence is ahead in almost all stats. Over Xavier. I know it's a road game, but a +7. That line didn't make sense to me. I think, that's one of my favorite games of the day, guy.
I'm looking at it. It's actually down to 6 to 6.5, my man.
Okay, well, I got it locked in. I had it locked in at 7, so...
Hey guys, we got any more scores in the soccer game here? Did we hit that yet or what? Come on, let me know. I love that I'm gambling and doing the show all at the same time. That is what it's all about. And that reminds me of Las Vegas because you know what? We're gonna be doing our stuff. You know, we're gonna try to do it at 12 noon, which is 3 o'clock Eastern. And you know damn well there's gonna be like 100 games going on while we're live at the MGM Grand. So it's gonna be.
We're gonna have people sweating it out, man. People are going to be running, they're going to be watching us on their smartphone, looking at the game. Oh, don't worry.
Go be hitting the auto refresh on their phones.
I plan on having the iPad going with all the live score updates. So, if we get big time winners, anything going on in a game, we'll have the spread going. We'll know what's up. We'll be throwing it out there. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, Dream and I, when we were in Vegas, we were doing the live scores and we were cashing. It was like we had all laughers going on while we were live. It was money. You know what I mean? So
if you suddenly see my chair go flying 10 feet in the air, something bad happened.
What's the odds of that, Dan? What are we relaying odds if your chair goes flying after you betting some bad plays? What do you think, brother?
Next to nothing, man. When you do it for this long, and I've been gambling, for like over a decade now, 12 years, and I just let the losses roll off my back. I mean, I know sometimes they're really tough ones to swallow. There's obviously a couple games I remember. It is what it is. We just got to make it up later. But I fully expect I've been riding this college basketball ticket hard all year, in part because of the nation, in part because I love the college game. And the regular season has been a lot of fun. But, man, I think we're going to know these teams inside and out and cash some serious tickets. I think we're going to hurt the pockets of Vegas hard.
We have to. That's the whole plan out there, Playboy. All right, so the next one we got on a ticket is this team that has a very sore subject for yours truly. Got this nasty Texas team. I can't stand them. They got me bad the other night, man. Texas is at Kansas State. Kansas State is minus 1 point, under over 122.5. Kansas is coming with a 4-game losing streak into Kansas State. Okay, looking at this game, man, and I got a real bad feeling about Texas. I don't know. They just basically imploded. I mean, they had that big win against TCU where they beat them pretty good at TCU by 18 points, and then lost to Kansas, Iowa State,
here's
Baylor,
the thing,
Oklahoma State.
Kansas State has suspended Marcus Foster. I mean, he's their leading scorer.
Oh, okay.
So K-State, so that's why this game is a stay away from game. I mean, someone's going to step up and try and get those points for K-State. I mean, you have Texas limping. I mean, absolutely limping in. They just coming off a loss at home to Oklahoma State. And we've just said Oklahoma State is not a great road team. They got smoked at Baylor. Lost at Iowa State. Got smoked at home against Kansas. I just think that there's way more games out there, and this one is just
way more. I mean, if you look at the statistics, Texas is superior in almost every category. However, Texas is 4-10 straight up in the last 14 games on the road. Texas is 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Kansas State. And Kansas State is equally as booty. But, they're 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games. However, Kansas State is 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games at home, but you're saying they got a big suspension there. So, you know what? I think we got to move on from this game because, you know what, guys? I think you're better off taking a coin and flipping it and betting a team than doing that game.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
And one thing I want to throw out there, because someone just brought up a good point, a lot of people think the line in the Notre Dame game is off.
Yeah, I looked at that.
+9. And I just want to throw something out there, and I just tweeted this out. But, a lot of people in college football season, the book knows they're going to get a lot of Notre Dame bets, right? It's like that in college basketball. There are people that will bet Duke, 100 times out of 100. They don't care. You have a whole nation of people betting Duke, which obviously leads to some weird things sometimes going on with the lines. And I think that nationally, while they've lost some games, Notre Dame is still underestimated on the national level. I think that changes today. That's why I'm all over Notre Dame.
Big shout out to Indiana Eric for taking a look at that. Yeah, man. I mean, you guys got to understand something, all right? And listen, we have confirmed this from numerous people in the sports book industry. I mean, when we were in Vegas, we had a sportsbook director that's been in the business forever that ran like every casino. Like his resume was stupid. Dude, it's all a computer that sets the lines. They can't set any kind of fishy lines. It just doesn't happen. That's all like conspiracy theorists stuff. It's all computer generated, okay? And what happens is the minute the line comes out, then what happens is the public and the sharps are what moves the lines. It's all about the money. So if they get 70% on one side, then what's going to end up happening is they're going to raise the line or decrease the line on the other side to try to even out the money. Now, it doesn't always happen like that, as we know. Sometimes you'll get 90-10, sometimes you'll get 80-20, stuff like that. But overall, they try to get like the whole day to be 50-50. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. So just
Vegas
let you guys know.
Vegas is trying to make that 10% a day, and then when they have the good days, it's great. But that's why the sports book is the one thing Vegas can lose on, because they can have those days where they just take the shower.
Yeah, definitely. And what happens is, some of these guys go out there and they move the line, 3-4 points. Then they'll go bet the other side and try to get a middle. And that is the Vegas casinos hate it because they lose millions of dollars like that with some pretty sharp guys out there. So you gotta take a look at some of this stuff. So I totally understand you guys looking at line movements to see where the big money's going and all that. I get it. I totally get it. But the initial line that comes out is all computer generated. With, and then they factor in, injuries and stuff like that. And you got the guys on the back end that may manipulate it a little bit because of an injury or a suspension or weather or something like that. But at the end of the day, they can't. It's just impossible for them to, because you know what? They'll set a trap in the wrong way. Put it that way,
right?
And end up getting smoke shows. So that's not what it's about. We've confirmed that from several different huge resources out there. So, all right, Dan. So getting back into the action here. Let me take a look. And we got Arizona at Arizona State. That is a very early game for the West Coast. It's a 4:30.
It's a 1 p.m. game, I think, right? It's a 1 p.m. West Coast time game.
Yeah. 12:30. I'm used to seeing these teams at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and this is fun one for me because I think Arizona absolutely smashes today.
I have not bet Arizona yet this year.
I know.
I have not bet them. Arizona's anywhere from an 8 to 9 point favorite. I'm going to have to rely on my man AZ Wildcat 83 to hit me up and let me know because he's a big Arizona and Arizona State fan. So I think he's just Arizona, to be honest with you.
That line is off. Line is off.
Well, it's an in-state rivalry, dude. So
I know, but you're talking about it's in-state, but it's like in-city. I mean, like kids travel from everywhere. I understand the rivalry. But you have an Arizona team that's 20-2 and has absolutely been killing kids against an 11-11 Arizona State team that is not very good. You're talking about Arizona coming off. I mean, they just had a defensive masterpiece, 57-34, Oregon State. They just blew the doors off Oregon the game before that. They blew the doors off at Cal. They won at Stanford. They beat Utah by 18 points. This defense is great. The offense is really good. Arizona. I mean, this is one of my stereotypical bloodbaths.
They're going to annihilate them. All right, man. Hey, we'll see what happens. I'm going to sit back and watch it because I've not done the eye test with Arizona yet. So I'm going to sit back and
see some things. You're going to see some things.
All right, man. We'll see what happens. Those in-state rivalries scare me a little bit.
I know, but you're talking about an Arizona State team that even at home, I mean, they're coming off a loss to Oregon. Granted, point, but they barely beat Colorado. They won at Cal, okay. At Stanford, they lost by 20. Arizona's a better team than Stanford. I know this is in Arizona State, but to me that doesn't make a huge difference. Arizona kills them today.
We are gonna do this. This track is the bomb, kid. I love this song. This will also be playing, I think, in Las Vegas, kid. Rock it. All right, so the next one we've got on the ticket. So Dan, good luck with that play.
Thanks.
All right. The next one we got on the ticket here is we got Northwestern at Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Badgers, who I think they got to get Kaminsky in the paint a little bit more because he likes to dance around and kind of reach over everybody and fingertip rolls, yeah, stuff like that. You got anywhere the line is anywhere from 18.5 to 19.5, with Wisconsin favored. It's got Dreams money line minus 4,000 written all over it.
I know.
You got the line anywhere from 129.5 to 131 as far as a total is concerned. Looking at this, and Wisconsin is scoring 74.4 points a game, or they're giving up 56.5. So defensively, they're doing it. Wisconsin against the spread, guys. You got to remember this, okay? There's a lot of money that comes in on Wisconsin, and because of it, they're 2-4-1 against the spread in the last 7 games, so they're not covering. And they did not cover against Indiana, which I called the other day. They were up huge, and they basically took the gas off and let Indiana cover by, I think it was like by a 1.5, something like that. Is this another annihilation for you, Dan?
I'm actually not taking this game because I just think the points are a little too much, and obviously I'm not going to money line it. But here's the thing. I mean, Wisconsin did blow their doors off, about a month ago. They beat them by like 25 points. Here's the thing, though. I mean, even though you have Northwestern on like a 7 or 8 game losing streak, they're losing games close, and it's just too close for comfort. I mean, they took Michigan State to overtime, and that was at Michigan State. They lost to the Illini, but by 5. They 2-point loss at Michigan. They lost to Ohio State by 2 points. I mean, even Maryland, at Maryland, they lost by a point. There's something about this game where I know it's on the road. Wisconsin destroyed them at their home before. It's just too many points for me.
All right. My man Buster Carr is out there. What's going on, Playboy? Deeks Picks is out there. Hey, it looks like we're all on this Real Madrid over. So, hey, you know what, guys? Let's keep the faith, and hopefully we can get this thing cashing, man. So the next one we got on the ticket here, Dan. So I am not layeth the points on Wisconsin. I'm just not going to do it. So
yeah.
Although they'll probably win by 30, but I don't want to get involved.
I mean they should, but it's just too many. They could, it could be that classic up 25, 5 minutes left. Let's pull some guys. Northwestern gets a few buckets, and there you go, and you're screwed.
Next one we got is the Louisville Cardinals at the Virginia Cavaliers. And, Dan, I know you love picking on this Virginia team because you can't stand them. Virginia is minus 7 points. Louisville is coming into their building. Dan, talk to me. I don't think you're going to surprise anyone with your play here.
No, and I think this line is a travesty. Louisville all the way here. I mean, plus 7 points. I'm also going to pop a little money line action on them. I watch UVA a lot, and man, that offense just makes me sick. Like I'm going to be sick if I watch it anymore. They can't score. I mean, look, that defense is a look. I will say. On the other hand, you can watch them because that defense is beautiful to watch. But Louisville coming off that win at Miami. I know, hey, Miami's no Virginia, but Miami plays tough in their building, and I've been a big fan of them. They beat North Carolina by 10, granted at home. They won at Pittsburgh by 12. Pittsburgh, everybody knows Pittsburgh's a real tough place to play. And they put up an 80 spot on a pretty good defensive team. They put up 80 almost, or 78 on North Carolina. I think that Miami game, like everybody told me, I covered that game by like a point, and everybody told me, oh, it's a look-ahead game, and I kind of agreed, but I thought that Louisville really matched up well against Miami, so they cover, I think it was 5 points or whatever, and they ended up covering by, 3. I think that Virginia actually gets smoked in their building today. I think they lose this game.
Wow,
I think they lose this
that's
game.
really interesting.
I mean, I don't
Dan.
want to say smoked. Okay, it's gonna be close down to the wire, but I do think Virginia loses. And plus 7.
I was very surprised that Virginia did what they did to North Carolina in their building. I'll be honest with you. I did not see that coming. A dream and I could have sworn that North Carolina would beat them, but they didn't. North Carolina laid an egg in the second half. Common opponents in the last 5 games, they've had 3 of them. They both beat North Carolina. They both beat Boston College, and they both lost to the Dukies. So taking a look at this, I mean, you got Virginia's overall defense, ranked 2nd in the nation, giving up 50.9 points a game. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know. This Louisville team is not what they were last year. I don't believe so. You know what, Dan? Louisville's 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games on the road, though. So...
yeah,
you might be onto something there. I think
great coach team, man. Great coach team. I'm not saying Virginia isn't a very, very, very well coached team, but like I said, anytime, look, this is why I like betting against Virginia, especially with what I consider powerhouses. And I think Louisville, while they might not be the same team, they're still a very good team. If they get up towards 70 points, Virginia can't get there.
All right.
Virginia just can't get there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens with that, my man.
And I'm going to look at the team total on that, too, but I'll tweet that out later.
Let me take a look at what the total is. The total is on that game 117 to 118.
Over.
Really?
Over.
Even with that shaky offense and the awesome defense that you just alluded to?
I mean, that seems low to me right off the bat. I mean, you're talking about a Louisville team. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think they put up mid-60s, and I think it's close, like I said, down to the wire. And then if you look at the spread, and even if you're on the other side, even if you think Virginia wins this game and you want to moneyline Virginia, so I think it's at least in the 120s.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, brother. I don't know.
I mean, look, I'm gonna do more homework into it, but when's the last time that Louisville was held to under 60 points?
Well, you know what? Now that I look at it, Dan, Louisville's road offense is ranked 5th in the nation, scoring about 78.5 points a game on the road.
That's what I'm saying. It's a juggernaut road. It's good. It's a good offense. I'm saying 80 points at Pittsburgh is not easy. I mean, Pittsburgh has a very good defense. I'm not saying it's Virginia's defense. Don't get me wrong. I hate on Virginia, but I'm not an idiot. Dude, this is an over game. I think this is a gimme play.
We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it, and that first half might be even lower. It might be like 50. The first half. You know what I mean? Because usually what happens in college hoop is that the first half is a lot lower than the overall. It's not half of the total. You know what I mean? So we'll take a look at that and see where that one lands. But you might be onto something, Dan.
And like I said, you got a team that's averaging close to 80 points, right?
Yeah, Virginia's home defense is letting up about 48 points a game now.
Right. But you got to also look at they've held some teams in the 30s that don't.
Well, they held the Dukies to what? They held the Dukies to what, 69 points or something like that. So you're probably gonna get you'll get in the 60s for Louisville at least.
That's why I like Duke in that game, and I understand what everybody was saying, but that's why I like Duke, and this is why I like Louisville. I think Louisville I think they score over 70, and they win the game.
Looking at the next game here, we got SMU going into Tulsa. Interesting game here, man. We got
stay away from this one.
Yeah, you got SMU is 18-5 straight up, 9-10-1 against the spread this year. SMU is 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games, so they're playing pretty good basketball right now. They're 3-6 against the spread in the last 9 games on the road. Tulsa is 17-5 straight up. They're riding a 12-game winning streak. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a really good one here. And the game is a pick'em. Anywhere from a pick'em to +1 with SMU-ski, dude. This is almost got like stomach ache written on it, like Yale Harvard.
Yeah, I looked at this game. Because I've been riding Tulsa all year, and I've been doing pretty well. And I know I just knew SMU was a pretty good team, but until I did my homework and I watched a little bit of SMU the other night, and I had them, on the spread against Houston. I just can't. I can't go against them. I can't go against them. Both these teams are very good. This is actually going to be a fun game to watch. If you're looking for, something to watch at 8 p.m. I mean, some ESPNU game. I just can't put money on it because, like you said, man, I'll be running the CBS for the Pepto-Bismol.
All right, here's one of my favorite teams right now that Hatter is keeping a close eye on. We've got, and it's not Drake. The Drake Bulldogs are playing at the Northern Iowa Panthers, and the Northern Iowa Panthers are playing a hell of a good. They're playing. They got a really good streak going on here, being 20-2, and they're playing a hell of a game right now. They're 64.9 points a game, but they're only letting up 54.5. Drake is 1-14 straight up in the last 15 games on the road. Imagine that. They must hate going on the road, man. Imagine that, just getting pounded like that all the time.
Yeah.
Northern Iowa 6-1-2 against the spread in the last 9 games, and Northern Iowa's 5-1 straight up in the last 5 games as well.
I think they're good here.
You think they're good? They're giving a hell of a lot of points, though, dude.
I know. I mean, I'm not touching it, but I think if you're going to, it does. I mean, look, I have so many games. It's just one that I did not do homework on. I know you did more
points,
than
brother.
me.
17 to 17.5 points.
When you have the only time I really like taking games like that is if you have like a top 10 team against bottom 100 team and you got like 20 points or something. But I know they're so bad on the road. But I can't touch that. No,
that's tough to mess with, guys. So you know what? I mean, I love Northern Iowa and all that, but I don't know about giving 17 to 17.5 points. I got to be honest with you. We'll see where that lands. And, hey, hopefully they win and cover if you guys are feeling froggy and taking that. But that's a little too rich for my blood because you know what's going to end up happening? I'll end up getting 16.5 or something like that, and they'll lose by 16 or they'll win by 16. You know what I mean? I'll lose by that historic half point that I've been losing by for a while now. So I think I'm good with that. I don't think I'm going to mess with that personally. So let me take a look. Let me switch this up here and get my little hotel going on. All right, so the next one we got here, let me take a look. Going all the way down. We got Missouri State at Wichita State. The Shockers just got shocked by Northern Iowa, to be honest with you. Looking at this, here's another thick-ass line. You got Missouri State is getting anywhere from 18.5 to 19 points at Wichita State today. Over anywhere from 119 to 120. Dan, is this going to be an annihilation, as you like to allude to?
You know what? I'm staying away from this game, too. I think it will, but I got, for the night games, I got 2 more beautiful games, and right now that's all I'm going to take. I mean, look, if depending on how the day goes, I might roll with Wichita State here, but right now I'm just not on it.
Just so you know, I mean, Wichita State is superior in like everything, guys. Okay, and they should layeth the smacketh down. But you know what? I just want to point something out that Missouri State is shooting 74% on the free throw line. So you know what? You probably get them down, 18 points, and Wichita State does a dumb foul at the end with 6 seconds left on the clock, and they make a couple free throws and ruin your day.
It's true, but I mean, Wichita State, last time they played, just like I think 3 weeks ago, Wichita State smoked them at home by 23. So,
okay.
I mean, it's not that bad a play. Wichita State should do it again.
Yep. Okay. So the next one on the ticket, we got Kentucky at Florida.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Interesting matchup here, brother. Kentucky's had a couple stomach aches this year.
Yep.
Okay. Kentucky is, damn well they're 21-0. Everybody's got their eye on them to win the national title because they're undefeated and they're dope.
Plus 250 for an undefeated season. They got to win the tournament, though, guys.
So, Hingle Kringleberry, what's up, man? Thank you very much for that photo. I appreciate it. Good morning to you as well. Clement saying you can't buy a half point. Yeah, dude, I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, let me take a look here and see what we got. My man Sean Harnish is on West Virginia and Providence. So he's on the same page as you with those games, Dan.
Right on.
Looking at Kentucky, Florida. Dude, this game, I don't know, man. This game's got a little stomach ache written on it for me. I don't know why, but I just have a bad feeling about it. Kentucky, obviously, 21 straight games they've won. They're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games, though, guys. So remember that, okay? That they're not covering. They're winning, but they're not covering. And Florida is Florida's also not covering, so that doesn't really help us. Florida's 0-4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games, and 2-4 straight up in the last 6.
Yep.
Nasty. You're on this?
I thought the line was going to be higher. I thought it was going to be much higher.
8 to 8.5 right now, brother.
Yeah, and I actually was able to lock it in at 7.5. But I feel comfortable at either 8 or 8.5, depending on where you can get it, because I just, it just doesn't make sense to me. I figured this would be a double-digit line. Florida, not only, have they been bad? They've been bad against other bad teams.
Yeah.
And now they get to play Kentucky. And, you're talking about a team that, they beat Arkansas by a point. They beat Bama by 2, but, losing on the road to Ole Miss and then getting smoked at home by LSU. You're getting smoked at home by LSU by 18 points. What is Kentucky going to do to you?
Yeah.
I think Kentucky, this is a beautiful, beautiful game to make a lot of money on. I know everybody probably thinks it looks like a trap, but I don't get the line at all. I figured it would be double digits, 10, 11, maybe even more. Kentucky has had some stomach aches, but I think they go in here and just lay it down. All right.
Well, we'll see where that one ends up, my man. So, taking a look at this here, I got a little red hot chili peppers in the background here. We got the Utah Utes at Colorado, kid. So I know you love this Utah team. You got Utah as anywhere from 5 to 5.5 point favorites, depending on where you play it. And looking at it, you got anywhere from 121.5 to 123 as far as an under-over. Dan, what are you doing here?
I'm all over Utah.
Really?
Again, another line that I thought was a little odd. I expect it to be adjusted over the course of the day. You're talking about a Colorado team that is just not very good and hasn't been playing very well. They're 11-10. They've lost, at Arizona State. They lost, at home against Washington. At home, they beat Washington State. Washington State's terrible. They had that win on the road at USC, but USC's not good either, and then got smoked at UCLA. Utah is a good team, another underrated team. They never really get to play the national game, and even tonight, they're on like the Pac-12 network, which depending on where you live and what TV you got, hopefully you can watch it. I just didn't get the line. I thought it would be 8-9 points, and when I saw 5, I jumped all over it.
All right. So I'm just doing a little calculations here on a money line parlay to see if I can get some value. I think I found it.
So there's some value.
I think I got something here. What I was able to do, guys, is I got a couple of minus 420, minus 450 money lines going on with Villanova and UNC because I think they're going to win their games. So I wasn't able to find a third one with those kind of numbers that I was really feeling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually jump on some heavier favorites and make it a 4-teamer. And, it actually pays pretty well here. But we'll keep going with this. Taking a look at it here. The next game on a ticket we got to talk about, Dan, is Gonzaga and San Francisco.
Yeah, Gonzaga bit me in the ass the other night. I don't want to talk about it. 2 points, that Santa Clara team. I can't believe that Gonzaga.
That's because they were down at the
so, hey, Bet Gonzaga if you want. I got a much better game, though, that we haven't talked about.
Zags is a problem, dude. They're scoring about 80.7 points a game. However,
they're going to kill them. But, if I bet on them, they won't.
They should win, but they are 1-3-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road. And, that goes back to that Santa Clara game that they just had. San Francisco is 9-15. Superiority Gonzaga has it in every statistical category there is, man. Gonzaga, I really think. I mean, and the last time they played San Francisco, they beat them by 33 points or 31.
I know,
points.
And they should do it. I'm just. Yeah. Like I said, you get bit in the ass by one team. Right now, the Zags and LSU are off my radar. So, take it if you want. I just think there's some better games out there. Like I said, I got 13 games today, and I see another one that looks real nice that I would love to take over this game.
All right. Take a look here. So the next one,
you can include the next one I got for you in your Moneyline parlay, too.
All right. Looking at, we got Maryland at Nasty, Iowa, kid. We're looking at this, taking a look. I have no line yet. You have a line on Nasty, Iowa?
Let me see if I got one.
If not, we'll skip it, and then maybe it'll be up by the time we're done with the show.
Yeah, no, I don't got a line anywhere up on it yet. But the game that I want to tell you about, kid, is this Toledo Rockets. Toledo is at Ball State today. It's an earlier game. I think it's 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Toledo 14-8 been playing great basketball. You got Ball State 7-13. The line right now, I believe, is -7.
Okay.
I really, really, really like this Toledo team here. I think Ball State is just a very bad, very, very bad basketball team. I think Toledo problem. Covering that spread today.
All right, I'm looking at that, and the line is anywhere from 6.5 to 6.5. So there's really not much movement there. And just so you guys know, that Nasty Iowa is tomorrow. So my bad. That's why there's no line yet.
Yeah, and you're talking about a Ball State team that has lost to I think something at least 6 in a row. I'm just looking back that far. Talking about a team that just lost at home to Buffalo. At Miami of Ohio, at Akron, Kent State. They got smoked by Kent State, got smoked by Ohio, lost at Bowling Green. It doesn't matter, home or road. I, again, expected this line to be more. I think there's some really good value here. This is a great game.
All right. I'm going to just zip through this here because I'm trying to find something that will tickle my fancy that I can add to my little money line parlay I got going on.
I'm saying, dude, Toledo.
Yeah, Toledo. You know what, Dan? I just haven't watched them, so I don't. It's tough for me to do it. It's tough for me to do it. So, but you know what? Maybe I'll change my mind and maybe I'll jump in at the end.
You're talking about a Ball State team that can't remember the last time they won a basketball game. So,
All right, just watch this game, guys. But Michigan State Sparty is not all that this year, and they are given anywhere from 8.5 to 9 points to the Illini. The Fighting Illini is not bad, so just keep that in the back of your brains, okay? I really want to take Duke, but I'm just having a hard time doing it. Looking down here, Bradley Evansville, nah. Central Michigan, they played me the other night, so I'm a wrap with them.
You can't take a money line parlay with a 21-3 team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear you. You're talking about a +9, but that's a lot of juice. I feel like, especially to give up against a team that's only lost 3 games all year.
Yeah, I feel you. I think what Daddy's gonna do is I think I'm going to add Butler to my play.
Okay.
And one more. Probably looking at this. And guys, I hope you're out there where you can find these these money line parlays, because you know what? Just go to sportsbetterstv.com and we'll show you where you can do them. You can see where the money lines are. I mean, if you're not getting money lines, there's a reason for it. Because you know what? A lot of the books are not feeling them, but some are. So if I look at this, I like the way this pays. I like the way it pays. It pays about 77% of what I'm putting in. So I am going to do Villanova to win, North Carolina to win.
Okay.
Butler to win. Iowa State to win. So that's all. So $100 pays $77. That's like doing a regular teaser, guys. It actually pays better than a regular teaser. So I think I'm going to do that, and I think I'm going to put 2 units on this today.
All right.
I like it. I really do. So it pays, 2 units will pay you, over a unit and a half. So you know what? If I get that, I'll be happy on a day, man. That's it. So it's kind of a little bit of a marathon. But you know what, guys? Hey, I'm not trying to sweat it out with points right now, dude. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sit there and hopefully these are not stomachache games. And the teams are out there trying to win. They want to win the game. Period. Okay? They do not care about covering your 13-point spread because you bet them. They just don't. You know what I mean? How's the team going to feel if they're up 13 points and their star player, goes down with rips his ACL or something like that? You know what I'm saying? So that's when they start sitting people. So you got to really remember that. I've even been saying, dog or pass. You get some of these heavy underdogs, with all the points. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's what I'm playing today, Dan. And I know you've got a plethora of games that you want to share with the audience. So we're going to close it out with your stuff. And so you guys already know Daddy's on Villanova, UNC, Iowa State, Butler, 4-team money line parlay. $100 pays $76.97. So pays about 77%. I may actually go more than that. I don't know yet, but right now, it's a couple unit play for me personally. And you know what? If one of these teams starts giving me a hard time, I'll just bet the other way and get my money out. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. So, I'm dedicated to college basketball today because that is what I am going to do. So, Dan, what you got popping?
All right. So today we have 13 plays, all against the spread.
How much are you doing? All 1 unit plays on these?
These are all 1 unit plays.
Wow, man.
These are all 1 unit plays.
All right, go for it. I'm gonna write this down.
All right. We got West Virginia, Wake Forest, Notre Dame, Providence, Villanova, VCU, Toledo, Purdue, Pitt, Zona, Louisville, Kentucky, Utah, and we're also throwing 1 unit on Wake Forest money line and Louisville money line.
Louisville and Wake Forest, all right. You said Wake Forest already.
Yeah, but I'm taking money line with those 2 teams as well as the spread.
Oh, okay, got you.
So we got it.
I wrote all your plays down, so those are all against the spread except the last 2.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got those games against the spread, the last 2. Again, Wake Forest and Louisville. I'm also adding a money line play, 1 unit.
All right, man. All right, so we'll see where that lands. Dan, I wish you the best of luck. That is a lot of plays going on, my man.
I know.
So, guys,
I got 3 TVs going today. I'm ready.
All right, good for you, Dan. Good for you. So I feel really confident in my play, and I can't wait to get my teeth sunken into the college basketball ticket because it does start in about 42 minutes. So we got to get in front of a TV and get popping. Guys, we are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world that's growing like a fungus and spreading like a virus. Hashtag SBTVNation. Listen, go to our website, sportsbettorstv.com. Check it out. All the money lines are there. All the best point spreads are there. Shop your lines. Get the best value because you know what, man? If you shop it, you may end up making a few more dollars. You may be making a lot more dollars. You never know.
And look at those futures there,
and
too, boys.
You may lose by half points here like your boy is because half-point difference, and I would have pushed. So I'm not happy about that. So
Hatter was having a hard time explaining to his wife why at 2 a.m. he had to run out to Western Union.
No, I haven't deposited in a long time, man, because all the future money I got going on. So, hey, guys, listen, big shout-out to every single person that's out on Twitter that supports us each and every day. We are 7 days a week, full throttle. We will be back at this tomorrow morning early at 10 a.m. sharp, rocking and rolling. We got a bunch of games going on there. We got, Hingelberg, Kringleberry, Rich Z, Doc. What's going on, Doc? Congratulations on the Patriots yet again. James Harrelson, Steve O, Jay Hova. Hope you're cashing today, brother. C. Rodriguez Jr., Eddie E, Bookie.com, LVCC, Spotbet, Cole Smith, OJFB. Randy Lockhart, Sir Mata, Armin De Niro, Nonstop Sports Picks, Ben Diaz, Scotty King, Scott Weaver, Clownman Swag, Snoopy Bets, Straight Bet Talk, Deeks Picks is out there, Underdogs, what is going on? And my boy Taddeo is feeling, he was a guy that came on yesterday, he's feeling Minnesota, Dan.
I know.
All right, so, hey, you know what? It's mano y
brother.
mano. So we'll see where it lands. Guys, we love you to death. Go out. There's a ton of games and get that money. Take care.
Peace.